It's always gone too fast, like a trip to the beach or the life of James Dean. It kills me to think I'm avoiding the bit I can't swallow.
Did you know there's so much more to Nice and the French Riviera than the Blue Coast? In this video, we're showing you a fabulous day trip, starting in the heart of Nice and exploring the green mountainous hinterland. We're actually going by train, allowing you to follow in our exact footsteps. No car needed. So let's hop on and check out what there is to discover to the left and right of the tracks. We're finally in this train that we've meant to take for so long. So we're gonna take you on a cool hike today, and we're showing you a medieval village that you need to see. Linking the coast to the mountains, this train line, called Chemins de fer de Provence, runs from Nice to Digne-les-Bains. It's a 151 kilometers ride, with many stops along the way, some of them optional. The cool feature for tourists is that you can get a ticket to one of the destinations and get on and off the train as many times as the timetable allows. So, a little after 9 in the morning, Anja and I arrived at a tiny train station just outside of Nice, in Saint-Martin-du-Var. We decided to board here because we don't live in Nice. For us, this little village was quicker to reach, and we could easily park our car for the day. For those of you staying in Nice, it's super convenient to catch this train. It departs from the La Libération neighborhood, right behind the former train station Gare du Sud, a few hundred meters north of Nice's main train station. If needed, you can take tramline number 1 to the Libération stop. But back to Saint-Martin. We're heading towards Digne-les-Bains, so we had to cross the tracks, wait just a little bit, because we're always last minute, and then the train arrived really slowly. But who's in a hurry on vacation? We have the short train almost to ourselves, probably because this specific train was added to the timetable just a few days earlier, specifically for the summer season. So where are we going exactly? For the hike we mentioned earlier, we'll get off in Annot. After the hike, we'll take a train back towards Nice. But first, we'll stop in Entrevaux to show you this medieval beauty. And we should be back at our starting point in Saint-Martin by early evening. While those of you heading all the way back to Nice will need to add an extra 45 minutes. Here's our exact itinerary for the day, in case you want to follow along with what we're suggesting in this video. We'll be on the train for an hour and a half, always running along the Var River. So let's get cozy and enjoy the landscape that pretty soon becomes dramatic. This train line is historic, inaugurated in 1911, with construction starting in the late 1800s. The tracks are narrower than regular ones, allowing for tighter curves, which was essential in the winding mountains and helped reduce construction costs. Today, the train runs every day of the year, including public holidays. It used to be called Train des Pignes. Nowadays, only the historic steam train is still referred to by this name, Train des Pignes historique. It comes to life seasonally from May to October, between Puget-Théniers and Annot. One of the carriages is from 1892. The closer we get to our first stop in Annot, the higher the train climbs into the mountains. After an hour and a half, we finally arrive at our destination, 700 meters above sea level. We're ready for a hike, which is supposed to take us through an impressive rocky area named Les Grès d'Annot. There's a little tunnel that takes you to the other side of the tracks, where the 2-hour hike begins. Just follow the yellow markings.
Aila and I planned this hike already 3 years ago, And today, finally we do it. I can't wait. Let's go.
The trail quickly starts ascending, with huge boulders appearing on our left and right. By the way, there are QR codes along the trail that'll provide you with more information about the area. We continue on our way, but soon it's time for a break. Anja has found a nice spot, and I'm happy to take a break and have lunch after our early start this morning. It's also quite hot, around 30 degrees, surprisingly no different from the coast. Suddenly, we're not on our own anymore. A few rock climbers have arrived. While they are getting ready to conquer this gigantic boulder, their dog Colette keeps us company. And then we can't help but watch as they tentatively start climbing towards the sky. We almost forget that we have a train to catch. Time to get on with our tour. The trail continues upwards, and the landscape remains magical. The Grès d'Annot are sandstone cliffs formed under the sea 35 million years ago and eroded by the wind into fascinating shapes alongside ancient chestnut trees. Soon we're overlooking the valley and the village where we started as we continue our ascent to the summit.
Aila wants to do Chambre du Roi, Palais Jardin du Roi. So then we are going to do that.
It's just a small detour, but you definitely shouldn't miss what's coming next. The walls are getting steeper, leaving narrow crevices, and then we enter the Jardin du Roi, the King's Gardens, a setting for many local legends. Amazing views and angles will open up to you. Take it all in, especially the massive rock high above your head. Looks like it might tumble down any minute. And just a few minutes later, we finally reach the goal of our hike, Le Chambre du Roi, the King's Chamber. Less impressive than the gardens, but still. If you have more time than we do, continue on this trail to complete the full circle and see more stunning rock formations. We have a train to catch, as you know, so we turn around and head back to the station. You should definitely also see the medieval part of this little village with its architectural treasures. Unfortunately, we were too pressed for time to make it all the way to the old town.
We made it! So in the end, we took more time than we thought we would. And we were totally in a rush to get down the mountain on time. And I wanted to show you, we wanted to show you the village as well. So I ran there. Didn't quite make it, but we're in the train, that's the most important.
Thankfully, now we have a short 15-minute break as we head back in the direction of Nice. But we'll be getting off again at the next station, Entrevaux, with its impressive citadel high above the medieval village. We're not the only ones setting off to discover this beautiful place, and we simply let ourselves be guided by the citadel. Across the street, the village comes into sight, and we're looking forward to exploring. We've both been here before actually, which is why we absolutely wanted to stop here. Entrevaux was a royal village, built on a rocky outcrop, and was recently named one of the most beautiful villages in France. Before we take you up to the citadel, designed by the French military engineer Vauban, we need a drink. We order a refreshing cocktail and a little caffeine boost, and enjoy this quaint square, which is so typical of every Provençal village. As usual, you can refill your water bottle at the fountain, or give your dog a little bath, essential in the southern French summer heat. Now it's time to climb up to the citadel. You have to buy a token for €5 from this machine, and then the mountain is all yours. It's a 25-minute climb, 800 meters long, divided into 9 successive ramps, covering a vertical drop of 156 meters. So if you're brave, you'll be rewarded with this fantastic view. And there's even a museum up here, if if you want to find out about the village's military history.
And it's always gone too fast, like a trip to the beach.
You should definitely also stroll through the alleys of the village. You'll discover charming corners, picturesque views, leisurely creatures, and much more.
I can't swallow. And it comes, but it won't last.
Don't forget to step into the impressive cathedral for a quick breath of cool air and to appreciate the Gothic Provençal style of this historic monument, built in the first half of the 17th century. While the interior showcases a Baroque richness, its exterior is integrated into the ramparts, added at the end of the 17th century. Then it's time again for us to catch the train back to where we left the car. And we're absolutely thrilled after a day trip that turned out to be perfect in every way possible.
Oh man, the day is over. I'm almost sad, I have to say. We had such an amazing day in the hinterland. But you have to know, Nice has so many other day trips to offer. Have a look right here.